topic of a global overview on opportunities and benefits of disruptive agri-based information systems.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think everybody can hear me. So I would like to share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So good morning, everybody. I am Amit Saha, founder of Fox Global Research and Consultancy Center. So yesterday, actually, my session was for this global trade for yesterday, but somehow I find that my presentation is linking yesterday's trade with the information systems. So you see, my topic is a global overview on opportunities and benefits of disruptive agro-based information systems for agro supply chain, with special reference I will give to the Western India. So as you know that agri commodity exports is about 10% of total exports in India. And this 15th Finance Commission, they have submitted report last year that Indian agri exports has to increase up to 100 billion US dollars. Right now, it's around 40 billion US dollars. So how can we do this? For that, how information system is going to help. So that is my special reference. So let's go through what I will cover. So as you can see here, that agriculture trade has been transforming. So it was earlier merchandise trade, as you can see in the first this image, that the traditional marketing system was basically a push market. So they were pushing the goods and whatever was sold, that was happening. And then it came the integrated value chain, where it was like a pull market, wherein depending on the demand, the different goods were produced, and the value chain was integrated in not only in the goods, but also in the flow of information in the whole supply chain. And now the next trend is the circular value chain, where we are looking at a system where the whole process is circular and the material can be reprocessed again. So it is a synchronized circular value chain system where the raw material supply is integrated through various channels. And we are not looking at national level, but at a global level, where this value chain is integrated through contracts, logistic contracts. And then you have product traceability, because that is important for global value chain. And then we have an overlay of digital cloud support system. So this is basically the next generation of value chain integration, where data is going to play a significant role. So in that direction, my presentation will look into how in India we can integrate this kind of system so that we are able to capture the export markets. So for that, I just took an example of a digital value chain support system in Australia, where you can see in this figure that the whole value chain is integrated using the linked value chain data. And basically, when we talk of integration of data, so there is basically three types of platforms. One is the tracking using the satellite images. And then we have the prediction agriculture and analytics, so that we have using the AI system to make decisions. And then we have supply chain efficiencies. So all this together is making the value chain integration. So such kind of systems is now prevalent in the international arena. So we have to look into ways how we can develop our systems, because India, I think agriculture is in a very critical stage, and unless we are at par with how the global value chain is developing, and for this we have to think ahead. So in that direction, I'll just give an overview of all the disruptive digital technologies that is right now available in the market. So let's start with the wireless technology. So there is no need for fitting this coaxial cables. So everything can be linked wirelessly. So that is one area. Then the second is GPS. As you know that this ISRO, I think you already have collaboration with ISRO for this agriculture mapping of all the at cadastral level. So that we are progressing in the right direction, and that we can integrate with the GIS maps. So maps up to the village level. So all the fields can be mapped using this spectral images. hyperspectral images so that we exactly know for precision agriculture. Next is the computer controlled devices. So using the different kinds of this robotics, so we are able to have the right way of doing intercultural practices. Then the smartphone mobile apps, as you know, this ICT that is also coming up in a big way. Then we have the RFID, the sensors that we are putting to identify the various assets. Then e-commerce applications. Then we have the digital IoT of things. So wherein for every operations we are able to identify and monitor. Then this telematics. So how we have the smart tractors. So wherein we can the tractor is speaking. So that means we able to predict like what will be the yield and get all the information, and then this automation. So all these factors together is making up the disruptive digital technology that has to be integrated into our value system. So just to give you an overview of the application of the disruptive agriculture systems. So we are able to have the first is the field monitoring using NDVI. So as you know, the NDVI is the normalized digital vegetative this index. So we can monitor the health of crops ahead and predict the yields, and also know how the what is the detection of pests, diseases, and other things also is possible through using this drone technology and using special cameras. We are able to also see the irrigation, weather, irrigation, and soil quality. That is also possible because of the use of the various sensors. Then coming to the very important is the data management. So we have a lot of data, big data, and all this data coming from satellite imagery, and how we can process this data and make it useful. Then this variable rate application. So depending on the exact need for the soil and for pest incidents and all, we can have specific inputs. Then the decision support system using AI, that is there, the value chain tracking and traceability. So this is again coming up, blockchain technologies and IoT. Then the demand-based controlled farm production. So this is again new area, like you can have specific varieties of crops developed. Let's say you have lettuce with less potassium that can also be produced under controlled conditions. So that is possible through this technology. And then also this achieving the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, wherein we have specific goals that can also be achieved through the focus interventions. So coming to just now coming to the practical application in Western India using the disruptive information systems in agriculture. So the first is the very prime example is how the Amul could reverse the impact of COVID. As you know that Amul, this network, this is a very good example for us, wherein about more than 3.6 million farmers are integrated through a very innovative network where 18,700 societies are pouring in milk every day, 5,000 milk tankers, 200 chilling stations, 10,000 distributors, and 1 million retailers. This is a wonderful network for us to evaluate at a national level. And so this is a very good example where the value chain integration is there. But the next stage is circular value chain. So for that, we have to look into like various ways, and many startups are coming up who are dealing in this direction. I just give some examples that are there in India. And this is some example like cropping. This is a startup in Bangalore, which are promoting ready farming alternatives using a business intelligence platform. Then we have Intillo Labs. So they are using deep learning for picture diagnosis. So they have a very good mechanism of analyzing all the satellite images. Then Microsoft India, they are working for using a artificial intelligence based sowing app. Then this Gobasco, they are having artificial intelligence powered agri supply chain. Axtech Technologies, they also use this pictorial recognition of various images and making diagnosis. Jiva Bhumi, this is a startup which is AI-enabled marketplace using blockchain technology. Then Stellapse, they have very good herd management application so that you can manage the herd very efficiently for animal-wise tracking for various parameters. AgriCX Labs, so they are doing quality assessment using smartphones.
Dr. Saha, you have
yes.
2 minutes left to conclude.
Yeah, I'm just concluding.
Yeah.
So then also now this drone technology has been opened up for India to use for agriculture. So Paras Aerospace, they have already ordered a lot of drones. So this also is coming up. So finally, to conclude, like we have the constraints for disruptive technologies. This approach is still very new. The costs are high and the benefits are not proven long term. We need widespread collaboration and consensus across global value chain and high development costs. Let's say if you want to do all this imaging at village level, so this is very high cost. So this has to be taken care. And then because of digital technology susceptible to hacking and implementation of data privacy and usage rights. So these are the constraints. But if you take care of these things in the future, in the long run, I think disruptive technologies will help a long way for us to be self-sufficient for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. It was nice to see how the opportunities are there to be adopted in the next process. We have implementation from various aspects, but look forward to how a few things to be adapted. Will you pick any correction or clarification?
I'm unable to hear if.
Okay, Dr. Shah, we will share your email ID with the participants. We'll get that with you if somebody has any clarification, suggestion, or clarification. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, your voice is not. I'm not able to hear.
Sir, it is being said that if we'll have any questions or any queries or comments, it will be inboxed into your mail. So we'll move forward to the next presentation, which is on the topic of digital marketing.
Thank Professor Saha for excellent introduction, and you will see this, what I'm presenting is actually a specific case study of what he was saying. So thank you for setting up that background very nicely.